Welcome to our channel, where we expose scams and teach you how to protect yourself from fraud. Scammers are getting more advanced every day, and our goal is to keep you informed so you don't fall victim to their tricks. In today's digital world, a growing online threat is targeting American teenagers, and it's costing lives. Financial sextortion is the fastest-growing cybercrime affecting young people, especially boys between the ages of 13 and 17. Predators disguise themselves as teenage girls, gain victims' trust, and then manipulate them into sending private images. Once they have the photos, they demand money and threaten to share the images if the victim doesn't comply. The fear, shame, and panic created in these moments have led to tragic consequences, including the deaths of at least 30 teenage boys by suicide since 2021. James Woods was a high school senior in Streetsboro, Ohio. He loved comics, idolized Green Arrow, and looked forward to attending the DreamCon comic convention with his family and friends. No one suspected that anything was wrong. But just before Thanksgiving, the 17-year-old took his own life. His devastated parents couldn't understand why. When police examined James' phone, they discovered that he had fallen victim to sextortion. The scammers bombarded him with messages, telling him he would go to jail, that his parents would stop loving him, and that his future was ruined. Within 19 hours, they sent over 200 messages, never giving him time to think or ask for help. James is not alone. In Michigan, 17-year-old Jordan DeMay received a message from someone pretending to be a girl his age. They convinced him to exchange intimate photos, and minutes later, the conversation turned into blackmail. Jordan, hoping to make it go away, sent $300. But the scammers wanted more. When he said he felt suicidal, they told him, "We're going to watch you die a miserable death." Less than 6 hours after receiving the first message, Jordan ended his life. His predators, Nigerian brothers Samuel and Samson Ogoshi, were later extradited to the United States and sentenced to 17.5 years in prison. Another victim, 15-year-old Braden Marcus, had just received praise from his football coach and spent a fun night gaming with family. The next morning, a scammer contacted him on Instagram. Less than 30 minutes later, Braden was gone. In his final minutes, he begged the predator to stop, telling them, "I am only 15. Why are you doing this to me?" But the predators don't care. Many operate as part of organized criminal networks, working in teams to target multiple victims at once. The impact of this crime doesn't stop at the victim. South Carolina State Representative Brandon Guffey lost his son, Gavin, to sextortion in 2022. Even after Gavin's death, the scammer continued to taunt the family with cruel messages. Guffey took action, passing Gavin's law in South Carolina, which makes sextortion a felony offense. The law also requires schools to educate students about online dangers. Financial sextortion is becoming harder to fight as criminals operate from countries like Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and the Philippines. In 2022, the FBI issued a public warning about the explosion of sextortion cases, with more than 3,000 minors targeted that year alone. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reported a 300% increase in tips from 2021 to 2023, and the 2024 numbers are the highest yet. The rise of artificial intelligence has also made it easier for scammers to create fake images, making victims believe they are already being blackmailed even when they never sent anything. Teenagers are particularly vulnerable to this kind of crime. Their decision-making abilities are still developing, and they are more likely to react impulsively to threats without considering long-term consequences. Sextortion preys on that vulnerability. Scammers don't just demand money. They make their victims believe they are criminals, telling them they'll be registered as sex offenders and that their lives are over. In that moment, teens feel trapped. Many parents believe they would notice if their child was in danger, but sextortion happens so quickly that there is often no time for warning signs. The blackmailers don't give their victims a chance to think. They flood them with messages, creating panic and shame. One of the most important things parents can do is talk to their teens before they become a target. Outdated advice like, "Don't talk to strangers online," isn't enough. Many victims never intended to engage with a predator. They believed they were talking to a real person their age. Instead of focusing on shame, parents should create a safe environment where their children feel comfortable asking for help. Experts recommend a stop, drop, and roll approach, so teens already have a plan in place if they ever find themselves in a dangerous situation. There is also a need for open conversations within communities. Many teenagers who experience sextortion don't turn to their parents first. They confide in teachers, coaches, or even grandparents. One 73-year-old grandmother was able to save her grandson from sextortion by encouraging him to tell his parents. The moment he realized his father would support him, he relaxed. That's the kind of safety net every teen needs. The key message is that sextortion is not the victim's fault. Even if a teenager makes a mistake, they are not to blame. The predators are the criminals. No one should feel so ashamed that they believe their life is over. Victims should know they can turn to someone for help. There is a way out. If you or someone you know is experiencing sextortion, don't try to handle it alone. Talk to a trusted adult. Report the crime. And if you are struggling, you can call or text the 988 suicide hotline for immediate support. This is a growing crisis, but awareness can save lives. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to help spread the word. The more people who understand this threat, the more lives we can protect. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Spreading awareness can save lives, and together, we can fight back against scammers.